Scotty here. It's March 25th, 5 days after official start of spring out here in Napa, Idaho, and it's a little bit chilly out. It's in the lower 30s. Been working hard in the greenhouse. This has just been a fun build, really exciting getting it going. I'm going to do an in-depth tour of what's been going on in there. Right now I've got over 1,800 plants seeding and sowing, and a lot of those have sprouted, so we'll check it out. We had our big giant pile of mulch, of compost, that we finally got all shoveled up and wheelbarrowed out. We dispersed over the garden. We've been starting to rototill the garden, getting the soil amended, and it is looking good. By the time warm weather hits, it's going to be planting time. This garden is just going to start kicking. Right now we've got a lot of pansies coming up. These I planted last year and they've been coming up all over, which is really awesome because they're a really cold tolerant flower, and I got a lot of them coming up. We've got tulips coming up. Got quite a bit of tulips coming up all over. Do a little, check that out. You can see all the little tulips coming up. This area, not last year but the year before, we filled with tulips, and so this is the second year that they're coming up, and we planted over 600 in this area here and over there, so it's really kicking. We put over 25 yards of new compost throughout the garden. You can see the different color variation. That's all new compost that we just put out over the last 4 weeks. We just finished 2 days ago shoveling it out, and that's going to feed these plants really good. Check out the videos from before where you can really see what the garden looked like before all this, where this was all full of giant sunflowers, and we're going to do a lot of that this year, filling this with giant sunflowers and flowers that are being grown in the greenhouse. The giant sunflower stalks that I use for the teepees held up nicely. We just installed this little hoop to walk under. It's a new addition to the garden. We're going to grow vines up this, and I've just really been liking these teepees. They're just so cool. I'm going to grow vines on these again this year. Let's take a look inside the greenhouse. It took me about 2 months to build. Me and my dad, we built this. It took us 2 months. I saw another video on YouTube of a guy that got the Amazon top. This is just your 10 foot by 25 foot Amazon top. You can pick it up for 300 bucks on Amazon. Built a 3 foot tall wall that's framed, and put that on top, and that's what I built the greenhouse from. So I'll just go run through and show everything that's going. These I'm really excited for. These Sunzilla giant sunflowers, I'm planting early to get a really good jump on them, so that when the ground gets warm, I plant these. They got a really good start. These have the potential to get 15 to 17 feet, and so I'm really excited about these. Pansies are still waiting to come up. I'll just kind of run through and show what I got going. Where is that? A little one in there anyway. These just started coming up a couple days ago. One of these just started coming up. This took about a week to start. This one you can barely see, but it's coming up. I planted a lot of marigolds. I planted a few different varieties of these, and these are doing really well. These have been sprouted for 2 weeks now, and I've got hundreds of these going. A lot of those coming up, and I'm really excited about I got these skyscraper corn seeds. These are giant corn, and they have the potential, apparently they can get up to 15 to 17 feet, and I got an early jump on these, so I planted this tray full of them, except these two are not. These are giant sunflowers, but the rest of these just started coming up a few days ago. And I've got a really nice spot in the garden for those. Some zinnias. These have all started coming up again within the last week or two. These just within the last few days. And over in the garden box, I've got spinach growing on a vine spinach. This is a vine that grows spinach leaves. I've got two that I planted here that I'm going to grow up the side of this, and kind of just have the spinach vine take over this little area. I've got a few more of them going on in here. I'll plant those somewhere. Rosemary. These rosemaries I started from seed, and I'm going to be planting them in this garden bed. These ones I just bought just to get a jump on them. I bought these ones, I couldn't wait. And this is thyme. And over here, got some kale going. Kale's been doing really well. I'm going to keep two kale plants in this garden box, this potting box, and that'll keep in here year round. I'm going to see how it goes during the winter, but I think it should keep growing year round because it stays pretty warm in here. It doesn't freeze, and so I'm hoping to grow year round in here. Or I will be. Got a blueberry plant going on, and in these two pots back here I've got turmeric root. I planted that a few weeks ago. That can take, from what I've looked into, a little while to come up, so probably a few more weeks or so. And I've got ginger in these two. Little bonsai plant. These are the making of what I'm going to grow: a serrano peppers and a habanero, and I'm going to bonsai these when they get bigger and turn them into bonsai plants. Do a bonsai style pepper plants. Over here, super stoked that I built this table. I built this table out of pallets. It's been a really nice area to hang out and chill. We've got the little puppy bed in here for the dog. Sometimes the cat hangs out also. Another bonsai plant. I've always liked bonsai and wanted to get into it, so that's what I've been doing. This one is super cool. This is a bonsai pomegranate plant, and it's actually growing a miniature pomegranate. Alright, so that's all the lower level stuff going on right here. Let's get the ladder and take a look up on this rack. And then again, I've got up on this rack is where all the tomatoes are. Tomatillos, peppers, and I'll give a look up there. Alright. The temperature's averaging during the day around 70, 75 in here, so things have been really thriving. Up here I've got some sunflowers that I ordered. These seeds online. The Maximilia's sunflower. Those are another giant sunflower. I've never grown those, but they've just started coming up. I wanted to get an early jump on these sunflowers, so I planted a bunch of them. These are more of the sunflowers. The zucchini and butternut squash and cantaloupe I planted last week, so these will be coming up soon. These are some Sunny Boy sunflowers. They just started coming up. Alright, let's move the ladder on over. I built these shelves really high to maximize space. So this one I built high enough to build a shelf on. These ones I'm really excited about. These look super nice. I've seen these before. I wanted to plant some, and so I did. Little sprouts coming up. These just started coming up also. And these ones, these should be coming up any day now. They've been sowing for over a week. So I'm expecting these to come up anytime. I planted 200 of these. Really excited about these. I'm going to be doing update videos on all of this. Now let's take a look on the top rack. This is what's got a lot going on also. Let me move the ladder over there. I'm doing a straight video shot, no editing. Let's check up this upper rack. Okay, got some tomatillos, got the peppers going on here. These are doing really well. This tray has vines growing in it, cypress vines, sweet pea flowering vine, broccoli. In the back I am growing what the seed package is calling catgrass. So I'm growing some catgrass. I'm going to put that outside for the kitty. Right here we've got Brussels sprouts. These I planted last week, so I'm expecting them to start popping up more. Got broccoli here. These started coming up yesterday. Right there. Just little sprouts, but it's coming. And let's move the ladder over and take a look at these. A lot of action going on over there. Me and Scott Sr., we transplanted a lot of the tomatoes last week. All of the rest of the tomatoes have been transplanted now. Alright, so this one I've got basil and Brussels sprouts, tomatillos in this one. More tomatillos. big Thai peppers. I haven't grown those before. I'm going to make some hot sauces with those. And another one I haven't grown before, purple tomatillos. And the rest of these, other than that, I got lavenders going. And these two trays are a big variety of tomato, a big beefy tomato. And the last 4 trays are Roma tomatoes with a grand total of 62 Roma tomato plants. We did a lot of them. We want a lot of tomatoes to do a lot of tomato sauce. So these are just really kicking up here. I'm going to be doing weekly video updates. Stuff's growing by the day and want to keep it updated. Thank you for watching. This is Locust Gardens' first year having a greenhouse, and it's kicking.